everyone, I'm Amanda from Mandy, Lynn Plans. Welcome back to another Plan Up Setup video. Today we are setting up my A6 business planner. I use the Hobonichi A6 Day Free for my business planning. Here's my current planner and a lot of the same setup items that I'm going to be doing that I have done in the past, plus a couple new ones. So here I have my little A6 planner. This has been such a workhorse for me this year and the previous year, so I'm continuing on with it. Due to the nature of this planner, there's not a lot of spreads I can actually show you, but believe me when I say that it has been well loved and used. Here I have the small tabs going down the side of my monthly spreads. And then the back pages, I use kind of like a bullet journal. So I have the months, and I don't always use the same number of pages per month. So I actually lay down these tabs kind of as I go. So I only have through October up right now. And then towards the back here, I have some custom tabs that I've made for myself. And I will do that again in the 2025 planner. Here we have the ocean colorway, just like last year. The colors I like to use in my fountain pens for my business planner are mostly blues. So I love just keeping it simple, and the MLP brand color is teal anyway, so this is what we're going with. So we have the coordinating washi tape rolls for the ocean colorway. I also grabbed some clear stickers. These we're going to put on the monthly spreads, and this we're actually going to decorate January together, so you can see how I do that. And then we have just some planner setup items. We have the custom tabs I made, the large and small, year to glance stickers, yearly index stickers, and then these as well. So first up, I am going to put a custom name script here for my personal planning. If you saw that video, I used the Fun Whimsy one. Maybe for business, I'll just keep it typewriter here. And flipping to our year at a glance section, these are designed to fit over this printed Japanese. Since I don't know Japanese characters, I don't know which ones are Monday and Tuesday, especially when it gets to Wednesday and Thursday. Sometimes I get it wrong if I'm not paying attention. So here I'm going to go ahead and lay these down on the left side. This is the 2025 side. Then we have the previous year and next year. That's what these little stickers are for. They just cover up that just like that. However, I will use those down for the 2026 calendar, but for the 2024 area, I actually have one of our little notes stickers, and this just peels off and it covers up this whole section right up here to cover up that previous year. And here I can put important things that I want to track for each month of the year. I'm gonna go ahead and lay down the rest of these. So those are in, and I do still have another set of month stickers if I want to use them in a goal tracking page later in my bullet journal section of the Day Free. Quickly, if you're unfamiliar with the Day Free, it's called that because the daily pages don't actually have the date on them, and they have page numbers so that you can use them like a bullet journal and index them if you're using just random notes pages or other things. Next, we're gonna set up the yearly index. First, we're going to use these month strips, and this spread does include December of 2024. Here on your yearly index strips, I was mentioning in my Hobonichi cousin setup video, if you watched that one, that the A6 spread is actually the exact same size, which kind of blew our minds when we first realized that when we were designing for it. Because the cousin, the A5, is twice the size of an A6. So we were really shocked whenever we sat down after designing the cousin and then trying to figure out the sizing for the A6, realizing that we could just use the same stickers. It does include different months, however. So the Hobonichi cousin only includes the 12 months either of that year or the Avec. The second book includes January to December of that current year, and then the next 6 months in the next year, so January to June of the next year. So we do come out with an academic version. But the A6 here, you need December of the previous year all the way through March of the next year. So we wanted to make sure that we had all of those stickers for you included. So just putting up these months up at the top, and then some checklist stickers as well. So those are all done now, and you are left with these dots that you can use if you want to use a color coding system here. If you want to track certain things in your business, you can do that, or of course in your personal life as well. Then we get to the monthly section after those yearly spreads, and I'm going to start by laying down these tabs. I'm going to start with January. I'm not gonna tab the December month. The way I like to do this is to line up the page so that only the rounded part extends off the page. And I try and scooch it as close to that way as we can. Then we're gonna fold just gently so that we can get that crease. These are kind of perforated so that it makes the fold easy. What that means is you need to be really careful when you take them off the tab page so that you don't rip them in half. Then you're just gonna slowly apply pressure evenly so that the sides match up just like that. And then when I flip to work on February, I'm gonna line this up to where there's not a gap. So if I scooched it over, there would be a gap between January and February. I want to fit January to December all in one row. So in order to do that with these small tabs, you need to do it to where there's not a gap. So I'm lining up February just based on the edge of January there. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna just make sure that we have that fold. Then we're gonna gently, evenly apply pressure to where it matches up perfectly just like that. And there we have our January and February tabbed. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of these. So January to December, I'm also gonna go ahead, there is space for one more. So I'm gonna use this blank tab here to go ahead and tab January of 2026, just like that. Now let's flip back to January, and I told you that I have these script months of the year stickers, and I'm gonna go ahead and put them, I usually just place them here in the days that are not a part of the month. And actually I include on these an extra December and an extra January. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the December for 2024, and then I'm gonna go ahead and place the rest. This one here is the small journal months of the year stickers and the clear paper. I normally like to use clear paper in my business planner, but then my personal planner, I usually like to use white matte, and I don't really have a good reason or explanation of why. That's just kind of what I settled into. Okay, now since September is a Monday start and I don't have a spot to put it, I'm gonna just put it on the side, kind of going down like that. And same with December. And then we have this last little January that I can put on January of 2026. It's always nice to be able to look ahead a little bit, especially in business planning. Okay, so now that we have all of those in, let's go ahead and do a little bit of decoration for January. I'm gonna run this ocean washi tape that coordinates with the ocean functional items that I've used around the planner in various places. Just kind of ripping with my finger here, nothing too fancy. Just trying to get some color down on the page without too much effort. So I'll kind of block out these days that are not in the month. And then I'm gonna go around and place some deco. Now I know our anniversary is on January 18th, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this there for that. It will be 6 years for Mandy Lynn Plans. We opened in 2019. This is deco from our Winter Wonderland collection. I'm gonna place that just right underneath January there. I don't always have a reason for why I place the deco. I do. Sometimes I do have a reason if it's a functional or monthly new release day. I like to put deco on those days. But then for the rest of the month, I just kind of like to make it pretty. And then trying to guess when sub box packing day will be. That's kind of a big one. Maybe we'll use a littler one here for that. I like to put to-dos here on my sidebar, and I'm gonna use these little snowflake and flower stickers for that. That'll be fun. Okay, so that's just a little peek at what I do in my monthly section. Now let's switch to the back pages. This is where I do more of a bullet journal. Like I mentioned, the pages are numbered. So the first thing I'm gonna do is grab a large January tab. And like I said, I don't always know how many pages I'm gonna use each month. So January is the only one that I'm gonna lay down. And then once February hits, then I will lay my February tab on whichever page that is. So I just keep the tabs with me in the back of my planner cover, and then I have them for whenever I need them. So there's my January, so that this is ready. And then what I normally like to do is just kind of flip towards the back. And here I will use the custom tabs that I made for myself. So I am going to place an index here back in the back. This is my first year doing this, and it's my third year kind of having this system for my business planning. What I found is that whenever I use these pages to do Mostly just random things that I only need the week of a new release and then I don't have to go back to, but sometimes I put ideas or things and it's hard for me to find those pages after the fact. So I'm going to place those pages here in the index so that I can find them easily. I only think I need a couple of pages for that, and then I'm going to start placing these other custom tabs. And I'll just skip however many pages I think I need for each section. Oh, this just popped into my head. Can I tell you something really funny? So we are renting an office space currently, and the other day our property manager came by and he was chatting, you know, and actually asked us what we do because he didn't know what we did. And it was Mark that was talking to him, and normally when we say what we do, it's actually kind of a funny story, right? Like a lot of people, especially in my area, don't really get planner people. Like they don't realize it's a thing. Okay, so come to find out, our property manager not only has heard of Hobonichi, but he actually uses a Hobonichi A6. So it was just really funny whenever Mark found all that out. A funny coincidence, of course he doesn't use stickers or anything, but he said he was at least gonna look at this shop just to see another Hobonichi lovers spreads and things and a way to use your planner in a different way than he currently does. It was just so funny. I have never met anybody else that had heard of Hobonichi outside of me telling them about it. So it was just really neat to kind of find that out about him. Have you ever run into anybody else outside in the real world who has heard of Hobonichi? Let me know down in the comments, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time.